Now coming on to the main news that is making lead headlines across Indian media is the amazing story of India's light tank Zorawar. This light tank, viewers, comes up in a record time of a flat 24 months from the word go. India's very own light tank designed under Project Zorawar for high altitude warfare in places like eastern Ladakh and the Arunachal Pradesh is expected to be ready for induction into the army by year 2027. So, why was this need for the tank felt at the first place?
Nowhere in the world has a new product been deployed in such a short time. So it's a wonderful achievement for both DRDO and L&T.
The need for such tanks, each weighing around 25 tons, with a high power to weight ratio as well as superior firepower and protection, has been driven home by the continuing military confrontation with China in eastern Ladakh. This is into its fifth year now. On the night of 14th-15th, 2020, the Indian Army and the People's Liberation Army of China engaged in a deadly hand-to-hand combat in Galwan Valley in Ladakh in the western sector of the line of actual control, the de facto border between India and China. Soldiers attacked each other with iron rods and clubs, resulting in casualties on both the sides. The face-off was a turning point in Sino-Indian relations. It was the first time in 45 years that a clash along the line of actual control culminated in fatalities. India-China relations, which had been improving since 1962 border war, were severely ruptured. The Galwan clashes came amid growing tensions between Indian and the Chinese soldiers at the line of actual control in the preceding months. On the night of May 5th and 6th, 2020, Indian and the Chinese soldiers clashed at Pegongso Lake in Ladakh. Another skirmish followed 4 days later in Sikkim in the eastern sector of the border. This was a result of China's attempts to unilaterally alter the status quo along the line of actual control. Beginning in early April 2020, the PLA had been massing tens of thousands of soldiers along the line of actual control in Ladakh. Backed by Type 15 light tanks and armoured personnel carriers, the PLA troops confronted with the defending Indian troops. It was at this point for the first time when the need for a light tank that is swift, agile and has a better firepower arose. In the early June, amid rising tensions, military commanders of both sides did agree to pull back and create a buffer zone at Galwan Valley. However, the larger standoff still continues. The Chinese light tanks Type 15 could move through steep climbs along the line of actual control much more easily than Indian Army's heavyweight 40 to 50 ton T-72 and the T-90 tanks of the Russian origin. This had put Indian Army at a considerable disadvantage.